Today is the final home game of the season for one team. It is more importantly a celebration. Senior Day. It's the SMU Mustangs and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer with you, and Holly Rowe is down on the sideline. Hello, Holly.
I caught up with the Mustangs head coach before the game. This running back has been revelation all season long. They brought him in the transfer portal, and he has delivered. Each and every week we see the chemistry grow between he and the quarterback and their offensive line. Now in playoff contention, making some noise in the top 15. They are starting to be a team to contend with, and it is all because of this running back and how he is fueling this offense. Back to you.
We'll keep an eye on that, Holly. And the Mustangs ready to kick it away first. Coming out with it, it's Watkins. He'll be stopped short of the 20-yard line on the return. They'll mark him at the 19. Back to throw, it's Hill. Under fire. Trying to make magic with his feet. Good little pickup there as he saw some daylight and got what he could. This matchup, two teams in the top 5, just sort of whets the appetite for what we're going to see in the playoff, guys.
The selection committee is watching this one very closely because, David, both of these teams are easily talented enough to win it all, but only one can walk out of here with the dub.
And what does it do? It sets up the seeding, right? It sets up the buys. It sets up the whole future of the college football playoff. And I think you want to punctuate that. You want to leave a lasting impression late in the season on the committee and show them, like, hey, we're the best in the country.
Pressure coming, and down he goes.
It's always interesting to view the good teams, the teams that are ranked versus the teams that aren't ranked. And this defense, man, like, how do they play it today? I love that start, man. Coming out aggressive, flying around, playing like your hair's on fire, getting a sack to start this game, getting a little momentum on their side.
Fires to the big fella. Snowed under by the defense.
Well, a nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable, really putting this offense in a good position.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the tight end. Finds a man in the middle. And he gets it done on 3rd down. They move the chains and they'll mark it at the 44.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Dropping back, it's Hill. Escapes the pressure going right. He can't find anybody. It'll be incomplete as the defense does a really good job in coverage.
Well, no secret, this guy was a big part of their key to success. Already 2 catches on the opening drive, and they go back to him again. This time the defense is in better position, and they force the incompletion.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Wants to throw again. Now moving to his right, looking for anyone that's open. He stopped just short of midfield. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 48.
And that's a really good job by this defense because, remember, when the quarterback runs, now you got an extra blocker because he's not just handing it off and standing there, and they still did a good job at the point of attack, kind of strung it along and made him run out of bounds.
Here comes the heat. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down.
The hardest thing to do in football is to play on the road. So you want to get those fans as quiet as possible. That is a great opening possession for this defense, not giving up any big plays and forcing the fourth down.
Solid punt, headed toward the sideline, trying to make it tough to return. You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. They're looking for an advantage to the right. Breaks into the open. He's at the 40. The 20. Touchdown, Mustangs! He got a step and just dusted the field.
And that is exactly what they wanted to see. They talked about bolstering their speed at the running back spot. They said this guy could do it. And you get a good glimpse of it early in this football game. Palmer, there's one thing to talk about speed. It's another thing to talk about speed.
Looking to convert the two, and he will not. The defense gets to him with the sack. Let's see if he can make a play on the return. Drills him with the stiff arm. Finds his way up to the 24 before he goes out of bounds. The Razorbacks offense set to begin this drive. They'd love to get something started here, down 6-0. They'll send the tight end in motion. Looking for a man. It's Hill. Outside the pocket, lets it go. And the defense making a play, getting a hand on that pass.
Great job by the DB seeing where the ball's going and breaking up. And I know that sounds stupid. Of course he is. He's supposed to do that. But a lot of times the angles you take are sometimes compromised and leaves you giving up big plays. Nice job going straight to the football and swatting it on the ground.
So now it's 2nd and long. Wants to adjust the pattern. And back to the air on 2nd down. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
Thank you. That's what the defensive backs say to the defensive linemen when they get home and put pressure on the quarterback fast and the ball comes out erratic.
They punted on their opening drive, and now they need a 3rd down conversion to avoid punt. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Smith. Tackle is made at the 27. Let's see if they decide to punt it. And the Razorbacks will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He's got great speed. Found a little running room on that one. Picked up some nice blocks before he's run out of bounds. The Mustangs offense is ready to go on the attack. Always a positive to put up early points, and they'll try to add to this 6-0 edge. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Well, after ripping off a big-time run on his opening carry, a negative play this time around, and this is going to be key. They're going to keep giving him the ball, and they need him to have more positive plays than negative ones if they're going to win.
And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And there you go. You see, you don't have to throw bombs to get big plays in the passing game. Just screen it to your running back. As soon as he catches it, he gets upfield. And how about the downfield blocking by these linemen and the wide receivers as they rip off that explosive play.
Looking to throw, it's Jennings. Fires left side, it's Smith. They get him down, but this offense is set up first and goal from the 9. The Mustangs want to move quickly. They'll dial up the run on first and goal. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. And after the really good gain on first down, they'll try to finish it off on second and goal. Back to pass. Rolling to the right, trying to make something happen. Touchdown, SMU! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Having a playmaker like that can get the offense out of just about any situation.
And no doubt, he can roll right, he can roll left, he can do whatever he wants. He can buy time and throw the football, but you have to defend everything. You have to defend pass, you have to defend run, and you have to defend plays that aren't even called. So good luck stopping this game.
Number 99, set to kick this one away.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He returns it almost to the 35. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Solid work on that one. Opening play of this drive comes from the 34. He'll do it himself. And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense understanding, listen, that QB is a threat. And they're going to run all kinds of options, and he's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
They're dealing with a second and long. Off play action. Dances away from the pressure, going to his left. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
Well, the defense watched film last week. They saw this running back catch multiple passes, and that hasn't been the case today. They are clamping down on him, always aware of him, especially in the passing game, and so far they've taken him away.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. To throw, it's Hill. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there.
And coming into this game, talking to coaches, man, they were worried about how fast this defense was, how physical it was. And so far throughout this game, man, it's shown up. Like the speed, the tackling, the eye discipline, they've done such a good job owning this football game early. And it's on the offense now. They've got to find some answers.
Making sure there's no return on that one as the punt sails out of bounds. That's the end of the period, and SMU has the lead. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. So first down here as they go back to work. They believe they can run right here. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to fire. Hit as he throws. Got his man downfield. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47. And the Mustangs want to crank the tempo.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be, because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7.
And that wasn't a big gain, but look at the offense. Right back on the ball, ready to call a play, ready to go fast.
Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. And he will wisely throw it to the kid playing the tuba.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there, I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
He'll work his way down to the 28.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that.
And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him.
And that's another productive run. This offense has had a bunch of them today, and the running back, I think this lead was built on this guy. He's done a great job all game long, setting the tone, and I think that's why this offense has been successful.
Quick completion on the out route. Touchdown, Mustangs! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. The mantra is always finish, and they're trying to do that here in the regular season with this Week 12 performance. They'll line up to go for 2. Back to pass, it's Jennings. And that one's incomplete.
Yeah, and the defense comes up with the stop, and you just wonder, the analytics world and all that stuff, that whatever the card says to do, you're supposed to do. I wonder if they were listening to that card.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. The Arkansas offense heads onto the field. They just haven't been able to get anything going, and they better get started or it's going to get away from them, Dick. Turning it on! The 40, the 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Arkansas! How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option?
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays, just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
And they tacked on the extra point. They couldn't draw up a drive better than that one. Just gashed him for the big play in the running game. One snap, one touchdown. He'll bring it back from inside the 15. Tackled and brought down at the 23-yard line, so not a whole lot of room on that return. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. They'll move the wide receiver. Dropping back, it's Jennings. He's looking deep. Snatches it on the right. Wide open spaces. Touchdown, Mustangs. Rolled his way into the end zone.
Big-time players make big plays in big games, man. And it seems like each and every week when this guy has an opportunity in the end zone, he's coming up with the big one. That time, great job focusing and concentration. Defense not able to cover him. That's his now 10th receiving touchdown on the year.
And with the extra point, they're on top by 18. That drive not too taxing on the playbook. One play, put it in the end zone just like that.
25, Arkansas, 7.
On the move from inside his 5. He gets across the 20 and out to the 21-yard line before he stops right there. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Wants to throw on first down. Lofts one deep down the right side. Makes a grab on the shot. And they'll bring him down after the long completion, a chunk play for the offense.
Yeah, I think if you're on offense right now, you're thinking, I don't know if our defense can stop them. They couldn't do it the last drive out. We're down a lot on the scoreboard right now, so we need to score touchdowns every time we have the ball. That was a big play for them, but they got to cap this thing off.
Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Recovered by the defense, and he's off. They drag him down pretty quickly, but defense forced a big turnover. He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. The run from the shotgun. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
Well, the defense blitzed on that last run, but it was the big fella on the inside that made the stop and made the play. Great job flying out of his stance, locating where the football was, and getting to the ball carrier. Really good job at the point of attack.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Looking for a man. It's Jennings. A little release to the back. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And we've seen him do it by land, right? They've been handing him the football, and he's been finding space, making some plays, and now he does it by air. They find him, throw him the football, proving to be a dual threat. This is a guy they like to feature in this offense because he'll continue to make big plays.
Finds his man. It's Hale. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there. Still a little ground covered. Pick up the first.
This slot receiver is a guy the defense has to be careful of. He runs good routes. He's got some speed, and if you're not careful, this guy can gash you.
Picked up 5 on that last pass play. Now it's 2nd and 5. Back to pass. Unloads to the wideout. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver is going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Going to look downfield again. Throws to the wideout. Working the middle.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Got it behind the line. It's Hale. He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the 1st down.
It's hard to have success on wide receiver screens when you're facing press man coverage because your blockers out front oftentimes can't pick them up, and that receiver gets gobbled up as soon as he catches them.
Caught, and he's got room. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep.
Man, this quarterback is having a first half. He's over 200 yards already, heating up, setting up. Dude, this dude might break his career high in passing. I don't know what it is. Somebody get stats for him.
A first down run on the doorstep. And he's able to bounce off one tackle, but still not a whole lot of running room. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? They'll keep it on the ground looking for the end zone. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays.
Timeout, SMU.
After getting absolutely nowhere on 2nd down, they'll try it again on 3rd and goal. Lets it fly. It is incomplete, and he almost had himself an interception in the end zone. It'll be 4th down. And in the final seconds of the first half, they'll send out the field goal unit. The distance is no problem, but this angle from the left can test you. It is perfect. And now the lead is extended a little further. We've played 2 quarters here and reached halftime, and we will now check in with Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, we knew this would be a telling week, and Week 12 has not disappointed. Let's get you updated right away. Let's begin with a look at Wake Forest taking on the FIU Panthers. And it's the Demon Deacons looking for a 3rd straight victory today following that Week 1 defeat. And they're on top right now against another solid team. This outcome today could define each of their seasons. Here now some other games you may have interest in, and social media has some sharp opinions about the state of things right now.
Scanning the field, it's Jennings. Makes the catch, it's Hale. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. See what they dial up on 1st and 10. This time he wants to throw. Firing to the right, complete. Oh, the sweet spin, and he's free. Couldn't ask for much more there. A 1st down, and they're down to the 42. The Mustangs want to pick up the tempo. They've built this offense around finding mismatches and just get the ball to the back and let him do his thing.
Yeah, it didn't have to be long down the field. Like it threw it right in.
Oh, it's picked off. Not the second half start they'd hoped for him. He's brought down. A short return, and the defense comes out on top with the pick.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his 2nd of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. The defense set them up with a turnover, and now to try to cash it in. He'll pull it down. Oh, he's got some space. They drop him at the 47-yard line, but he'll have plenty to move the sticks.
These guys aren't human anymore. I mean, they got to survey the field, throw the football, make deep passes, and then guess what else? They pull the ball down, take off, and make big chunks of plays on the ground. It's just impossible to be on defense nowadays.
That's a great play by the defense. They've got the lead by a lot here in the third quarter, and the offense is trying to run at them, and they just completely blew that thing up. Big tackle for loss. They've now put them in an obvious passing situation. Expect them to pin their ears back, try to get after the quarterback here.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Wide receiver going in motion. Looking to throw, it's Hill. He'll loft one deep down the left side. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on 2nd down. They're staring at 3rd.
Well, this passing attack was on fire last week. Quarterback threw multiple TDs, but they got brought back down to earth very quick in the first half of this game. So here they are now early in the third quarter. They're trying to get some of that mojo back, taking a shot. I like the aggressiveness.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Plucks it out of the air. Inside the 35, knocked out of bounds. This offense with a big play, and they'll mark it at the 33.
And you talk about just being a pain in the butt. This guy, he can just scramble, move, throw it on the run, and his ability to extend the play was the reason for the conversion right there, Palmer.
Yeah, and David, I like the idea that he kept his eyes down on the field, right? With his speed, there's a lot of guys in his position that would have just taken off and tried to go get it with their legs, but he gave the play a chance. He allowed the routes to develop and let everybody work the scramble drill to find a big-time completion.
And how about this defense really answering the challenge so far today? This offense, you've seen like last week. I mean, they can throw for touchdowns and big yards and big chunk plays. Defense has answered the call, played the deep ball well, played discipline, making this offense really earn everything they get.
And they get him down.
Great team defense on that one play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
3rd down, and this offense is already in a world of trouble. They could really use a conversion, not to mention multiple scores. Good effort, but he's going to come up a little bit short. It'll be 4th down and 1. With a double-digit deficit here in the second half, they're going to go for it on 4th down. The offense changing the play. On 4th down, looking to pass. Touchdown, Razorbacks! And they take it in for 6 more points. That's the first score of the day for the nation's leader in receiving touchdowns.
Well, this guy certainly, from a statistical standpoint, has done everything to deserve a trip to New York City. He has been a big playmaker week in, week out for this offense. Get this, that last touchdown was his 20th touchdown catch of the season. This guy has been unstoppable.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end. There he goes. Crosses midfield. The 30. The 20. Inside the 10. All the way. Touchdown, SMU!
And this dude has been a problem today. Almost 200 yards rushing, rips off another long run. He has been impossible to stop. They've featured him, and Palmer, I would continue to feature him.
Yeah, I would too, David. I think he's the definition of a running back that gets better as the game goes on. The more and more you give him the football, he just seems to get stronger. He seems to get faster. People do not want to tackle this guy for 60 minutes. He is putting on a show.
He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. The give is to Smith. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27.
You just sense the frustration.
This dick sucker to comment on my shit. Niggas a fan.
But I think with this running back,
Niggas a fan, weirdo.
So talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the second half.
Floating away. Pulls it in. It's Platt. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. Really good job when this play went off script, and that's the job of a tight end. Find the soft spot and stay in the quarterback's field of vision.
Yeah, and it's just frustrating to play this kind of style of quarterback. That's always going to extend the play, make it harder on you.
Lofts one high and deep. Makes the grab inside the 30. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
And this offense is going to need more of those, man. You've dug yourself a little bit of
Who's this nigga?
Defense still giving up points on the last possession, man. You've got to put it in overdrive. You need more big plays, more shots down the field. You've got to continue to be aggressive.
It's complete to the left. Touchdown, Arkansas! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Oh, the offense shows some life here and cuts into the lead with that score.
And, man, they needed it. They had to have something to go right. Listen, still down, but this is a great start to getting back in this ballgame.
And the extra point is good, but they still trail 35-21. And he's going to bring this one out. Not nearly as much as he had hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. They try to pop a run on the draw. Breaks into the open. And there they go again. Another huge gain on the ground.
How nice is it in an offense when you can generate explosive plays by running the football? You got to force feed this guy, man. He is an absolute game changer.
They created a lot of breathing room with that first play of the drive. Now first down from the 39. They're going to ride this running back. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And I go back to him again, too, man. I mean, just the big play, the play before, and they say, why not? Try it again. Get it to the running back. Try to create some space. Better job by the defense being gap sound, coming downhill, not letting him break tackles and make a big play.
This game is all but officially a wrap as we take a look at the top 25. Late in the season, time running short if teams want to make their move in the rankings. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. The play action fake. Quarterback on the move, still looking. Trying to make magic on the scramble. He steps out of bounds right at the 45-yard line, and now they're starting to put things together. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. Dropping back, it's Jennings. He's got his man, makes the grab. And his molars are probably rattling after that big hit, but he did get the first down. He just keeps piling up numbers with completion after completion in this standout performance.
And I think some people might say late in the game, you got the win, everything's in hand, be a little bit conservative, or you just say, I'm just going to keep doing me. And what I do with this offense is throw the football all over the yard, and I'm going to try to win me a big trophy at the end of the year.
The thing I like about this slot receiver, he's really intentional in his route run. The quarterback always knows exactly where he's going to be on the field. They've got great chemistry.
Quarterback keeper. Makes it past to Marko. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
What a phenomenal job in the open field, breaking off the long run, and they're not going to just take their time.
And it's intercepted, maybe breathing a little life into this team.
Well, there's no quitting this defense, I'll give them that. Obviously, they're trailing here late in the game. It seems like the opponent's going to win, but still, they've got guys out there playing the way they're coached to play, playing with outstanding effort, trying to make plays to claw their team back into the game.
The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. So getting the ball back on that interception at least gives us a chance to have a finish in this one. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking to throw on first down. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
He has been terrorizing quarterbacks all year long. That now his 10th sack of the season. He's got speed. He's got power. He's going to play on Sundays, and he is not cooperating with this offense's game plan.
To the air, it's Hill. Get it out to the supersonic guy. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
And plays like that at this point of the game just aren't going to work. You can't throw short in the middle of the field where guys get tackled and the clock starts ticking. You got to be thinking we're throwing to the sticks or we're throwing near the sidelines so guys can get out of bounds.
Somebody needs to make a play here. It's 3rd and long from the 26. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
The defense is in great position right now because they've got a huge lead here in the 4th quarter. They know the offense has to take shots to try to get themselves back in the game, so they're calling their coverages accordingly, and there was nowhere to go with that football. Really nice job by the defense being in position to force the incompletion.
Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Quickly to the flat, the wide receiver screen. Desperately wanted to convert on 4th down, but couldn't do it.
And now you start to feel desperate because down by multiple scores, the clock running out, 2.5+ minutes left on the clock. I got to do everything great now. I have no margin for error. My defense on this next possession, I have to get a 3 and out. I have to force a turnover. I have to do something to get me back in this ball game right now.
And I think if you're the head coach, defensively now, obviously, you've got 3 timeouts in your back pocket. You're trailing at this point, and the offense is going to be running the football, trying to bleed the clock. They're going to take as much time off the game clock as they can before snapping it. You've got to start thinking about you.
Makes the grab in their space. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Mustangs! And they take it in for 6 more points. They extend this 4th quarter lead, and now they are staring at a 7-game winning streak.
And this offense continuing to put up points. This game's out of reach. You know you're going to win, but still throwing the football, still finding that connection. I imagine there'll be some salty handshakes at the end of this game.
He'll bring it out. It's Brown. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. The Razorbacks offense set to begin this drive. He might want another play. Back to throw, it's Hill. Still moving to his right, trying to make a big play. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Running inside, it's Smith. And he finds enough running room, and he's marked down at the 20.
And these are these moments as a defense, like, you're just trying to get out of the game. We're rotating, we're subbing, like we've stopped them all game long. Like they can run the football right here. The biggest thing is the clock ticking, us getting out of here with the dub, and really, everybody staying healthy.
He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and fourth down's coming.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense.
All right, let me jump in here. They are going to go for it on fourth down, and I'm not sure they have much choice in this situation. On fourth down, they'll throw for it. Got a man. It's Watkins. He's brought down, but not before he picks up the first down and a gutsy call to keep this drive alive. Move those chains without a hitch. Well, actually, with a hitch, but you get the point.
I like that. Nicely done. The defense probably should have understood the ball was coming out quick.
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
And that play is a microcosm of what this game has been. They have not been able to protect their quarterback all game long, early or late, up front. Moving forward, this offense has got to do a better job, or else they're going to be in a lot of trouble. You cannot give up as many sacks as they have in this game and expect to win.
Second down, they'll go to the air. A deep throw as the clock winds down. Intercepted, and that total goes to 16. Bringing it back. And he's down, and this game will end on a turnover.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they've just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.